Pisces, and welcome to your reading for August of 2026. We're going to get a significator card out here for the month for you, and then we're going to take a look at a Celtic cross spread. Ooh, that's too many, but we could take the one on top, which is the World card. So I'm going to say it's pretty much everybody this month so far has had a part of their reading be about cycles, endings and beginnings, and so it doesn't surprise me at all that you got the World there. Also, right in the astrological aspect of things, coming up in the month of August, there is, we've got August 12th, there is a partial lunar eclipse, or sorry, a partial solar eclipse, new moon solar eclipse that's going to be happening in Leo, and that's going to be a lot of kind of coming into your own. Ooh, looks like you might have relationship stuff happening this month. Shedding old narratives, kind of rejuvenating yourself, your identity. And then at the end of the month, on August 28th, there's the full moon lunar eclipse, and that's in Pisces. So that that lunar eclipse is going to be all about endings and new beginnings. And specifically, I believe it's cycles that started in September of around 2024. Those are the cycles that are going to be coming to a close. So if you can think back that far as to what was going on in your situation around that time, Pisces, then you can see that's going to be probably a big indicator of what is going to be coming up for you coming up this month. Okay, let's take a look and see what we got. Pisces. All right. Well, Two of Cups, Eight of Wands, Hermit, Six of Cups. So it looks like you, this universe card, it's a World card, right? Something's coming to a close, some new cycle's beginning. Something has wrapped itself up in a package, and it's been finalized and delivered to you, and you're pretty much done with it. You're ready to let go of it, and you're ready to do this new thing that's coming in, right? That's the cycle is coming to a close. So you are this Two of Cups here. Piscean energy, I mean, it's water signs, so sure. I mean, this could be you just being more balanced and finding both halves of yourself this month. This could be a relationship. This could be that you are dealing with communication in your relationship. Perhaps you're trying to move through a relationship and move on to a new relationship. Perhaps you are starting a new relationship. Or just maybe letting go of one that you have and looking at a life without. Hermit here in the energy that is kind of building this situation up. The foundational energy that has been building this is the Hermit. So I think you want to be alone, or you have spent time alone, and in doing so you have been really getting a grip on who you are and what it is that you want. I mean, there's so many cups here, Pisces. This is emotional. I think this is feeling relationship driven for me, for you. Yeah, the Six of Cups, it's looking like you are, so you could have gotten an offer. It could be something from your past. It could be a person from your past that's coming in with a new offer of potential relationship, or a friend from the past is coming in and just like rekindling some old feelings of joy, old feelings of happiness, old relationship vibes, like friendship vibes. But this is something from your past. It could even just be you thinking about old relationships or old ways that you used to be, or old ways of being. And that's really what's been in your mind a lot. You've been getting a lot from the universe. Maybe you've been seeing a lot of friends, a lot of stuff that's online, that's social media, that's reminding you of past relationships, or people from your past have been popping up a lot and around you in ways that you haven't expected. And it's just making you nostalgic. And you might be in a position where you've had a recent celebration. Perhaps there's been some like wedding, or there's been like a celebration with family or something that's happened. And it's made you maybe you've met somebody in this situation, or perhaps it brought back all these feelings from your past because it was a bunch of people from your past that you saw in this party, or in this gathering, or in this thing that you got together with. And it's making you feel like, okay, yeah, no, I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to close out this chapter and move into the next chapter. I want this other thing now. I don't know that I want to stick with what with what I've got. I think I maybe want this other thing. It could be a third party situation. If that's the case, I'm sorry. I know that's complicated. But it looks like you are in a space of evaluating your relationships, your emotional situation within your relationship space. And you are looking to create something new, but I don't see any like aces, you know what I'm saying? It's all like more evaluating, looking back, thinking that you're maybe ready for some sort of new iteration. With the universe, the world card, it feels like this energy is like ready to switch things up. But I don't think this is a long time coming. I think this is new. I think you're being faced with like a new feeling of this. So let me see what we've got as the Eight of Wands and this Two of Cups energy. Woo, that's way too many cards. Way too many cards, universe. Well, I appreciate the confidence. I don't really feel like I can read that many cards. Okay, let's see. So we've got Strength here. See if you can give me anything else on that. So Two of Cups, Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands, communication. It can be manifestation. I oftentimes call it like my mini magician card because it's a lot of times about creating a reality for yourself. It could be sending signals out. It could be that you have been sending signals out to someone, maybe romantic signals out to someone, and it's starting to maybe show a little bit. The Strength card to me is saying that you are kind of holding strong to what you value, that you're trying not to stray too far from what you think is maybe the best version of yourself or what you really want or how you want to identify, but you're putting feelers out there on like new ways of being that version of yourself possibly. Let's see what else we've got here. You got anything else for Pisces for this Eight of Wands, please? Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right. We've got the Eight of Cups coming up again. Nine of Swords, and again with the Eight of Wands. Okay. So, Eight of Wands, I mean, obviously reinforcing itself. Just say, thank you. I know that you're serious about that. So, I really think this is giving me communication vibes. It's giving me like you have been putting out communication into the universe in whatever way to say, I would like to move forward and find this Two of Cups in order to, you know, supplement this Eight of Cups to give myself a Ten of Cups, right? I think the Ten of Cups being the best possible card in the, you know, outcome situation emotionally. So you see yourself as like one of a half. You see yourself as being in a relationship, being happy. You see yourself as a solid companion. You see yourself as a strong relationship person. You see, I mean, like marriage, good, very sturdy. And you see yourself as being this, and a strong communicator, you know, creating a strong, steady, stable relationship. And I think you're nervous. You might be in a position right now, Pisces, where you are nervous because the Nine of Swords is all about being kind of anxiety riddled, being all up in your head. So you might be nervous that something is coming that's making you, that's shaking a little bit of this strength and foundation, that's shaking a little bit of this perfect kind of situation that you've created for yourself, or this strong relationship that you are, this two of one halves that you are. Something might be making you feel like you need to look elsewhere for that, where it's been really strong. So this Nine of Swords is telling me that you're anxious about the strength of your circumstances and what you've been creating. So the Eight of what you've been communicating. I think you're a little nervous that what you've been communicating to universe is maybe shifting the strength of your situation. That it might be creating a situation that isn't what you intended. It might be creating, you don't really know what it's creating, right? You're putting stuff out into the universe, and I think you're a little bit unsure about what's going to come back to you. But I think you're worried that you're maybe going to have to walk away from something. Either because it is the Devil. I think you're afraid you're going to have to walk away from something either because it is shifting your foundation, and it is taking your strength from you. It is making you feel weaker. It is weakening your resolve in what you've created. Yeah. The devil in here is making me think that there's something that's in the Three of Cups. I'm getting a lot of like energy that's making me think maybe you are having some issues in your, maybe not issues in your relationship, but you are having things that you are manifesting. Things are coming in and around you. Communication is happening that is making you feel less strongly or less solid in your circumstances romantically. Now, whether you are single and that means that you've been tempted and somebody's making you feel like there's possibility for a relationship now where there wasn't before, and you're really solid in your individuality and in your like aloneness and solitude, that you don't necessarily want a relationship, that's definitely not what I'm getting here. Mostly what I'm getting here is you want to be in a relationship. Perhaps you already are in a relationship. You see yourself as one of two. You see yourself as one of a whole. You're one half of a whole. And you have been building that identity for yourself. And you have built it strongly over the years. That is the manifestation that you intend. That's what you want. You are concerned that you are having to walk away, or that you are potentially walking away from that you are neglecting that perhaps. There's there's some sort of temptation that is possibly making you feel nervous about the strength of that, I think. Let's see what we've got for the Hermit here. This is very much alone energy. You've been in your head. And this is the earthbound energy. So stuff is making you isolated. It's isolating you. So whatever the situation is, you don't feel like you're able to, I think, talk to others about it. I don't think you feel comfortable necessarily sharing this situation with other people. You've been very much alone in this. This has been something you've been dealing with by yourself. This is not something that you've been dealing with like friends and family. But again, I say it's a world you have created for yourself to some degree here. Let's see what we've got. What have we got for the Hermit? Can you give me a little something more for the Hermit here? Let's elaborate on that for Pisces, please. Oh, flying. Three of Swords. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you are keeping this to yourself because I think you're nervous that if you talk about it, it's going to be a real problem for you emotionally. Seven of Swords. Yeah, you're keeping this a secret. And this is giving me real third-party vibes. You're keeping this a secret. You do not want to disclose this information. Third-party vibes does not necessarily mean that you are cheating on somebody or somebody's cheating on you. That's not what this means. This could just mean that you are entertaining possibilities for yourself, whether that is people or possibilities in life, jobs, identities, who knows? You are entertaining possibilities for yourself that are not what you are currently dealing with. And that could be the third party, right? Doesn't necessarily have to be a person. Now, that being said, even if it's not a person, you do not feel like you're comfortable talking to other people about this. You are feeling like you need to withhold this information from people. You do not feel like this is something you can be honest with people about, and you're not being honest with people about it. You are being a little bit tricky. The Seven of Swords here is a deceptive energy. It's withholding. It's keeping information. It's withholding information and only doling out the information you think is 100% necessary. And I'm thinking you're keeping this to yourself. You're holding this down. You're being very quiet about it. You do not want to hurt anybody. You think that if you are not tricky about it, if you're nervous, you're going to hurt somebody. Hearts are going to be broken. The Three of Swords, right? That's broken hearts. That's heartbreak. So you are staying mum. Mum's the word. Keeping it to yourself. Keep it quiet so that you can avoid damage, because you are very nervous about damage here. Let's see what we've got for the Six of Cups. So this could be soulmate energy. This could be nostalgic energy. Again, this could be somebody from your past reaching out. This could be an ex that could be reaching out to you that's making you feel this way. This could be just somebody that's come into your circle, or some aspect of life that's reminding you, something that happened that reminded you of who you used to be, or a way that you used to see yourself. Two of Pentacles. Okay. A whole bunch of cards just jumped out here, and I kind of feel like I'm not going to take them. It's too many. It's too many. Too many. I'm not going to do that. It's going to get too convoluted here. We're already getting pretty full up. So let's see. Let's get a little bit more concise here for my Pisces. Let's let Pisces a little bit more concise here with what we got for them with this Two of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. As you're giving me juggling, you're feeling like you're having to juggle some things. So the Six of Cups energy, what is this? The Tower. Okay. Yeah, the universe is not helping you out a whole bunch here. Intuitively speaking, you are taking whatever the universe is giving you and you are catastrophizing it a little bit. You are either dwelling on the past or dwelling on this person. I think that it could be past relationship, like soulmate energy, something like that. King of Wands. Okay. So I think this situation that you're facing if you feel very strongly about it, you feel very strongly that this situation can be a huge problem for you. I think you're very nervous that whatever this new person or this thing that's tempting you, that's potentially going to rock your boat, that's tempting to shake your foundations a little bit, that you're having to be sneaky about, that you're having to tell kind of lies about, that you're having to withhold truths about. Maybe you're not lying specifically, but you're certainly having to withhold truths about. Whatever this thing is, you are asking, I think you're asking for guidance on this, and I don't think you're getting a ton. I think that you're feeling like you're asking for guidance, you're getting mixed signals. I think that you feel like the universe is speaking to you, but it's saying like, yeah, you're right. This is potentially going to be catastrophic. This does feel like this could be very powerful energy. This could be soulmate energy. Six of Cups is very much could be that. But again, it feels like I'm getting the vibe of this could just be you seeing somebody from your past and it bringing up old versions of yourself that you remember and are hoping to get back to possibly, but would require completely letting go of everything that you have. It would require dropping both of those coins and just totally starting over again, right? With this Tower card, it would be pretty catastrophic, but the universe is saying like, look, that's an option. And the universe is saying that's an option. Whether or not you want to take that option, I mean, that's going to be the question here, but you are being given an opportunity at some point in August to juggle a couple of things and to choose. You're going to be able to choose if you want to, whatever you want to do. I don't think that anything is really necessarily strong-arming you here. You're going to be able to make this choice yourself, as we do with anything in our lives. But there is something coming up. Either somebody from your past, again, a soulmate energy, or somebody that is making you feel like you're juggling things and you're feeling very unhappy about it. You're feeling like it's making you feel this is going to not end well. But the King of Wands is a very passionate energy. I feel like you really I feel like there's a reason it's so difficult, whatever the situation is. There's a reason it's difficult. Let's see what we got for this Three of Cups energy that is the recent past, kind of what's happened that sort of catalyzed all of this. Two of Swords. Yep. Four of Coins. Again, the stability. I think it's you feeling like you've... Ten of Swords. Yeah. This Three of Cups situation, which again I think might be this third party situation, whatever this thing is, that has made you feel where you were once so steady, so sure, and everything was so built exactly the way you had intended, and you had been, everything was communicated so clearly, so cleanly, that you're all freaked out about. Now all of a sudden you're having to make some choices. All of a sudden now there's choices to be made that could potentially just ruin all that stability. They could throw it all out of whack. All right, let's see. Anything else for that? Three of Cups, Ten of Swords, anything? I mean, I think that Ten of Pentacles. All right, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking to myself, well, this doesn't seem very good. Like, why would there even be a question? Like, why is it even a question? Obviously, this seems like you don't want this thing. This thing seems pretty devastating and catastrophic. Why would it even be a question? Well, I think it's a question because it's the Ten of Pentacles. It feels awesome. Whatever this thing is, it makes you feel like there's a lot of possibility. You feel like there's a lot of awesomeness to be had, but that it would require just absolute devastation to get there. It would just require just a lot of pain to accept it. Let's see what we got with this Eight of Cups. What do we got for the Eight of Cups for Pisces? August. Oof. My goodness, Pisces. You got choices to make, but like, I don't know, I think you know what you want. You know what you want. I think you're... Okay, so we got a Knight of Swords here in this 8 of Cups. 9 of Cups. Okay. 8 of Cups, 9 of Cups, 9 of Swords. 9 of Swords, let's see. There's the 8 of Cups and then the Knight of Cups. I mean, the 9 of Cups, right? So it's like you're moving from the 8 of Cups to this 9 of Cups, which would be personal fulfillment, right? It would be doing what felt best for you, what you thought fulfilled you the most specifically, kind of not really taking anybody else into account, anybody else's feelings, but your feelings. And this Knight of Swords is kind of like a knight in shining armor kind of situation. So that's using your brain to make the smart choice. Let's see. 8 of Coins. So this is just your August reading, and I'm not getting that there's any kind of climactic end to whatever this is. You have all this like intense energy happening inside of you about this. It certainly feels very like, oh my goodness, like this. You got the Tower, you got the World card, you got all these 10s here. So like it definitely feels like the energy is I say you've got all these 10s here, and another 10 comes out, the 10 of Cups. It definitely feels like you have a lot of energy of this is you're ready. You are ready in some ways to go for whatever this thing is. That's make the decision to make the choice, right? Push the button on whichever thing you're going to go for here. Whether it's the stability that you've had that's held you down, that you've been, made for yourself, that you're withholding all this from, or are you going to let the Tower happen and you're going to go for this new thing, which looks like it could definitely bring a lot of happiness, but I don't think you're unhappy where you are. So let's take a look and see what we've got in the universe. So it looks, I'm really getting a vibe that you are feeling like walking away from something is going to, and it could be either one. Which walking away, whatever thing you need to walk away from to give you true happiness, you're the person that's going to have to make that decision. You're the one that knows what that thing is. I came with those. But you are manifesting this situation. Like you are the person who's responsible for this thing existing in the first place. So you have to take accountability and responsibility for the fact that this is your decision. And the only reason it's your decision is because you have made this your decision, right? You have allowed this to be a decision that needs to be made for you now. And it's here, so it is what it is. It's something that's there. All right, so we've got Justice. Okie dokie. You are feeling like you are trying to make the right choice here. You do not want to be the bad guy. You want to make good decisions. You want to be a good girl. You want to be a good boy. You want to be good, right? That's what this is feeling like to me. So let's take a look and see what else we got. The universal. Oh my goodness, we're gonna get. Watch this all be major arcana. This is all the universal energy, right? So like this over here is more of your grounded, earthbound energy and how you're processing this, right? How your meat puppet's really processing all the stuff that's going on, all this messy, emotional, human stuff that's happening. This is more kind of like how the universe is sending the energy to you. This is maybe a little bit more open-ended, right? This isn't so much what's happening right this very minute, but it's more kind of the overall energy of the whole situation. Okay, and what do we got for our final outcome here for Pisces for August for this universal energy? Woo! The Wheel of Fortune. Okay. And what had fallen out, by the way, was the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. Okie dokie. So, Wheel of Fortune, this is Sagittarian energy. I think it's like a fire sign energy, so you could be dealing with that. That could be the person or thing that you're dealing with, but it definitely feels like you are going to allow whatever, this is a fiery energy that you're dealing with here. It's passionate energy. So you could be this could just be, you again could be, I've said this before in readings, I think this month actually even, you could be thinking with the wrong brain, right? Your downstairs brain rather than your upstairs brain. And just be careful when it comes to that kind of stuff, because there's certainly people that you'll meet in your life. There's situations you'll come into that'll make you feel like the things that you have aren't enough. And that there's things that bring new energy into your life that make you feel like awake again. And you have to really decide, like, the things that you have, sometimes they can give that to you too. Maybe it's like you need to find that in what you already have, as opposed to like leave everything behind, blow everything up, and move on to something new. But then again, you know, maybe it is time for you. It's only you know your circumstance. Only you can see how these cards resonate in your situation. Speaking of which, if they resonate for you, please do like, share, and subscribe. I'll do my little shameless plug. Say, give me a thummies up. Like those are always nice. All right, so let's see what we got here of the universe. It does, again, a lot of major arcana, which is funny because we got so little of it over here. We got the Justice card here for you. Again, I think you're really trying to make the right choice. I think you're trying to be a good person. I think you're trying to make the karmic choice. Ooh. The Death card. Okay. And the Knight of Cups. There has been potentially an offer given to you, or you feel like you are being offered this cup. The Knight of Cups is like an offer coming to you, and I honestly think that you feel kind of transformed by whatever offer this is. So whatever this thing is that came in that presented itself to you, that you had kind of been, that's making you feel unsure, that's shifting your foundations, it's making you feel a little bit unsteady in your current situation that you felt so steady in up until now, that you're lying about, that you're having to withhold, this thing that you're feeling like you have to be sneaky about, that's just for you and you're kind of trying to keep it to yourself. This thing is stemming from a feeling of you're feeling transformed. You're feeling like there's a death, right? Death is all about transformation. So you're feeling some level of personal transformation stemming from this situation. I think you're feeling like this offer has the potential to do something like that for you. Or you're feeling like it's making you feel reborn. It's making you feel reawakened in some way. But you are trying to be the good guy here. You want to stay, or good girl here. You're trying to be balanced. You're trying to make the right decision. You're looking at the scales of justice and you're saying, I want to make sure that those are balanced. You know, I don't want to be, I've been balanced. They've been balanced. I don't want this decision to unbalance them. The moon here, what do we got in the moon? Which is this position of the influences surrounding you. What's the universe kind of offering you right now is the circumstance that you're in, and it looks like a circumstance of indecision or unknowing, right? A circumstance of just unknowing, of not really knowing. And the Five of Wands is also kind of like inner battle, kind of inner conflict. You're going down this unknown path, and it's really making you feel like you don't know. You just don't know. You're feeling unsure and unsteady about your decisions, about even what path to choose. Again, with the Seven of Swords coming out, you're feeling like whatever is being given to you is just making it almost impossible to be steady. You have all of these even numbers, right, with you, with this Eight of Torches, with this Two of Cups, right, the Six of Cups. You got a lot of steady energy for yourself, balanced energy for yourself. And then you have this Three of Cups here, which is just, you know, like a really imbalanced thing that's happened to you, something that's made you feel very unsteady about yourself and about the choices that you've been making. And then you've got, all of a sudden now you've got this feeling of having to keep these things to yourself, of having to be a little bit more sneaky, tricky. It's making you feel bad. It's making you feel imbalanced, right? This Seven of Swords, Five of Wands, all of these uneven numbers, shaky ground, the moon, unsteady, not knowing where you're going. And this is you, right? This is your card. So you do have a tendency to put yourself in these positions where you're kind of emotionally charged circumstances where you're unsure. Now you've put now you've done it to yourself, right? Well, now you put yourself in a pickle. Now you're in a situation where you don't know where you're going. Excuse me, hitting the table. All right, so let's see what we got for the Two of Pentacles here. I really think you're concerned that you're just going to be juggling this stuff forever, that you're going to be dealing with juggling this situation for the rest of your life, which is certainly not going to happen. I mean, eventually those pentacles are going to have to drop. So let's see what we got here for this Two of Pentacles. Hopes and fears surrounding this situation for Pisces. Pisces, my goodness. I mean, it sucks because it looks like maybe this new thing is very exciting for you, but it doesn't seem like it's something that you feel very confident about or even very good about. It seems like you're having to do a lot of stuff that's not great in order to conceal it, to keep it going. Let's see what we got for this Two of Pentacles. Again with the Strength card. Hopes and fears, hopes and fears. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking the Two of... And again with the Two of Pentacles again. Yeah, I think your hopes and fears is that you'll have the ability to... You're hoping you can just keep this stuff juggled forever. You're not... Which is crazy, but this is... Pisces, I don't think this is the right way to look at this, but this is whoever you are. You're looking at this like you just kind of want to keep this going. Like, if I could just keep it... If I could just have the strength to just keep juggling both of these forever. So if you are in a third-party situation and you have actually, like, locked into it and you've gone somewhere with it and you are now currently actually juggling two things and you're thinking, maybe I can do this forever, that's a bad idea. You can't. You won't. The coins will fall at some point and you will not be able to juggle them forever. So if your hope is that you will have the strength to keep these things going forever, I'm going to say that that's probably not a great way to look at it. Let's see if I can get anything else to clarify that, please. It could be that you are hoping that you have the strength to choose. The strength to choose the right one, right? Let's see. Four of Pentacles, and again with the Moon. So you've come out again for yourself. I think you are afraid a little bit that you will not be true to yourself if you make one of these choices. But I think that you are hoping that you have the strength to choose what is right, to choose what will maintain the stability that you've built for yourself, that you have the strength to choose the thing that's going to allow you to keep moving forward with what you've already created, and continue to be the best version of yourself, right? The Moon again is you embodying yourself. So I think you're trying to be the best version of yourself. Now, I also think that you're a little nervous that not knowing the road you're going to go down, you won't have the strength to do that is a concern. So let's see what this Wheel of Fortune, the Nine of Pentacles in the long run. To me, this is feeling like you're going to kind of let it play out and hope that the chips fall in your favor. And they very well may, you know, if you allow the universe to do its own thing and you don't get too aggressive with it one way or the other. Okay, Nine of Pentacles has just come out again. So obviously it wants to reinforce, I think, that you're going to do what's best for you. Whether or not you do what's best for everybody involved in your life, I don't know. But looks like you're going to certainly do what's best for you here. The Hierophant, which is the marriage card, so that's good. And then we've got the Knight of Wands. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we've got the Wheel of Fortune again. So just reinforcing that, that vibe. We do at the top of the deck have the Three of Cups again, however. So I am seeing here with these three cards, the Wheel of Fortune, this allowing this fate to kind of unfold, allowing the situation to continue to just sort of unfold as in a way that's best for you, in the way that feels the most solid for you, that you feel is going to benefit you. You know, I think you're going to do what's best for you, all in all. So that Nine of Pentacles is very much a card of reaping your own harvest, but it isn't the Ten of Pentacles. So it's not really a family card. It's more about doing what is best specifically for you, really kind of not really taking anybody else into consideration. And I think you're really leaning in on that. But I think even still, with the Hierophant here, the Papa card, this is the Hierophant, I think you are going to make the wise choice. I think that you are going to be the Knight of Wands here. You're going to have impulses that are going to make it difficult to be mature about your decision making. And the Wheel of Fortune can put some things in front of you that might be a little bit difficult to say no to. But I think that if you are in a committed relationship, if you are somebody who this relationship or this offer you just know is not good for you and is going to end up throwing your life out of balance in a way that you do not want and do not need, that you are going to use your best judgment, and I think you're going to do what's best for you in the long run, and not what's best for you right now, but what's best for you overall. And that's probably going to be the thing that most aligns with what you've already built and what you've been, the steady foundation, the thing that's tradition, the thing that's the most traditional, right? If you're married, it's probably your marriage. It's the thing that's going to be the thing that you're going to want to stick with, or the relationship that you've been building, right, all this time, not the new thing that's throwing everything out of balance. Okay, let's take a look and see what the universe has as a piece of advice for you. I mean, it looks like it could be a spicy month, that's for sure. The womb, 26. All right, let's take a look. Better be careful if you're out there having a bunch of fun with a bunch of different people and the womb comes up. All right, no, just kidding. All right, the cauldron is central to the old religion, associated particularly... Ooh, let's get this focused for you. Focus up, womb. No? Oh, there it is. And there we go. Okay, Yahtzee. The cauldron. So the cauldron is central to the old religion. Associated particularly with Caradwyn, a Celtic crone goddess of the dark moon, it symbolizes the void. And again, the moon, right? It symbolizes the void, the deep source of creation, the womb of life, filled with the potential to be realized. It is the creator who fills the void, the enchanter who decides upon the focus for any incantation spoken over it. Cauldron symbolizes the potential you have at this time to create your own reality, your own direction and outcome, right? Eight of Wands is a lot about that. But be aware that as a creator, you will need to be fully conscious of what you are trying to achieve. If you place love and compassion in your cauldron, stir it with wisdom, you are likely to create the same thing in your world. As you give, so shall you receive. Pregnancy is likely, as is the birth of a new situation in your life. Welcome the state of emptiness that becomes before any major change or growth. Fill it with the intentions that enhance your situation, and so give birth to the life you love living. High note, seeds of creations are being sown. Low note, what you put in is what you get out. Okay? So, you created the situation that you're currently in. Now, whether that's because you put the signals out there and this other person caught wind and you've been building up a little rapport, or it's because you'd been thinking that you needed something new and something fresh and you weren't happy and you were kind of bored and you wanted something. You brought this new situation into your life. This decision, this thing that's kind of throwing everything out of whack and making you feel like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but this seems really like rough, and like if I have to, this could potentially really throw my life for a loop. And I'm having to do all this kind of tricky lying nonsense to keep it from doing that. If you're in that situation, it's saying it's time to maybe think about what's going to be best in the long run for you. Think about the thing that's going to stabilize you. Think about the thing that's going to give you the best possible outcome, and be conscious of what you're putting out there, right? Be conscious that if you are giving out those signals, that those signals will come back to you. So if you don't want that, then you're going to have to be conscious of how you present yourself. So I know that might not be as fun, and you might be thinking, wouldn't it be fun to be able to just keep both of these things in the air forever and play around with both of these things and just have a good time? Well, wouldn't we all love to have our cake and eat it too? But I think it might be, in the long run, impossible. So you will probably want to do what's best for you, which is to make the choice that gives you stability, makes you feel whole, makes you feel like you're the best version of yourself in all ways. Don't just make the passionate choice. Make the intelligent choice. Okay, Pisces, I hope that this resonated for you. If it did, again, give me all the good stuff, like, subscribes, tell me how you feel about it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Have a good August. Bye.